here's where we are. As we rejoin Boot, Enid, and Ma, they've crossed over the chasm in the spider cave, and they're being led by a group of tiny spiders into the unknown. It's at this time Ma has a moment to reflect back on her life and on the decisions that she made. And the copper scourge, this multi-headed whip that's hanging on her waist, just gnaws at her. And the first thing that Ma thinks back on is the days after Gilbert McCaw was killed by a werewolf. Nate, where was Ma the day after Gilbert, her husband, was killed?
They had a favorite fishing spot. They'd go out every day, just cast a line, and really just, they could spend the entire day there and it would feel like it was just 20 minutes. It's one of those spots where it was just something magical about sitting there, but not just the place, but the company. And now she's sitting here alone, still on her side of the dock, leaving a space where he would always sit. And she's casting out her line, but she's not saying anything. She's not catching anything.
She's not saying anything and she's not catching anything. And she draws her fishing line back and then she tosses out again. As soon as the line hits the water, there's the ripple of the hook dropping into the water. But it's almost like the surface of the water has been pierced by some sort of a spike, and just black liquid emanates out from the hook into this crystal clear fishing hole, and it's fairly rapid. But just picture it's almost like black billowing smoke under the water that's coming from this part where the surface of the water was broken, and the entire lake just turns gray. And then it just turns black. And then it doesn't look like a lake anymore. It just looks like a pit that just has no bottom. Ma could even feel like a breeze. There's almost like a sucking feeling of air around her. The temperature drops down and a breeze flows into the pond. Suddenly there's a voice beside her that says, "Mind if I sit here?"
Well, I reckon from the way the water's looking and the rest of the atmosphere, we don't get weather like this around here. I don't have much of a choice, do I?
As you look over, there is a beautiful, almost human woman sitting in Gilbert's spot. And she's adorned in black leather. She has black leather wings. She has tiny horns. She has a tail, which she kind of plays with almost seductively. She is the most beautiful creature that you have ever seen. And at the same time, she is repulsive. You don't want to be anywhere near her. And she says, "Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Glacia, and I came because you need a friend."
I just lost a good friend of mine, and I don't know if I'm ready to fill that hole just yet.
Yes, well, not that kind of friend. Well, let's see where this goes. I am aware of your loss, and I am very sorry. And I want you to know that your husband, Gilbert, I wish I could tell you he's in a better place. He's not. He's in a very bad place, but I can help you with that.
Well, what are you saying?
I am from down there. And she gestures towards the black hole that disappears now. And I've met Gilbert, and he's not in a good place, but I can get him out of this not good place. And furthermore, I can help you make sure that bad things like werewolves don't ruin anyone else's life. Would that be something that you would be interested in?
Now, if there's one thing I've learned, it's, not to just go on trusted people from down there. And how can I even, you could just be coming here and saying whatever you want to say. And I just because you know Gilbert's name doesn't mean you've met him. Doesn't mean he's down there.
I thought you might say that. Have a look. And as you peer down into the hole, you see deep down, it looks like about 30 or 40 feet down, Gilbert appears. It's like he's drowning in blackness, and these tentacles, like venom-like tentacles, you know what I mean, are reaching up and wrapping around it. And he says, "Help me!
Gil!
Help me, Gretchen!
Gil!
You gotta get me out of here! Help me, Gretchen!"
You bitch. Why would you take him?
I didn't take. I mean, it's the
He'll never did anything wrong in his life. I mean, yeah, maybe he would drink a little too much and ride his horses home. But I mean, around here, most people do stuff like that, and that's not a bad thing.
And he doesn't deserve to be there. That's the only reason I can do this. He doesn't deserve to be there. It's something about death while cursed, a cursed death, because he was bitten by the werewolf before he was killed by the werewolf, and it's unfair to be cursed and then immediately killed so you can't do anything about it, but that's what happened.
So you're telling me he's stuck there because of some semantics?
Yes, that's basically it. There's a code, and Gilbert is in the 6th level of hell, which is where I come in. My name, as I said, Glacia. I am in charge of the 6th level of hell, and I have the power to let him go, but I just can't just do it, because then, people will be asking me all the time, and there's so many things that are just unfair that end people up down in the cursed realm of hell where I run things. It would just be crazy. So I wish I could just let him go. I can't. I kind of need, but it's practically me letting him go. Really, I need one favor from you at a time in the future, and it may not even happen, but I will, as I said, I can release Gilbert to go on to a better place. I can lift the curse from him, and he will shoot like a ping pong ball out at the bottom of a swimming pool, just right up to the top where he needs to go, and I'll give you the power, as I said, to help make sure this doesn't happen again. You've got some children you're looking after there, don't you, Ma? They call you Ma, don't they?
They call me Ma.
Well, I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to them. Wouldn't you want to have the power to make sure that they were safe?
I wasn't strong enough to save Gilbert.
Well, I can make you strong enough that nothing bad happens to those children.
And you're saying it's just going to be one favor down the line?
It might not even happen, but there might come a day when I need a favor from you, and that day might never come. But when I need that favor, I need you to do it. And no questions. You just do the one thing that I need you to do.
I want to see Gilbert go to a better place as soon as I shake your hand, and not until I do the favor for you, because he does not deserve the suffering now.
Okay.
I want to know he's going to be safe for as soon as we make a deal like this, because I know how you folk work, and I know I have to be careful with my words, and I know that it's not always the best idea, but I also know that I was weak and I could not save my husband, and I don't want to lose anyone else.
Well, I definitely understand that.
It's the least I can do to try and save him now.
Sure, and that's not a problem. I'm just gonna need a drop of your blood in this little chalice. And she just out of nowhere kind of rolls her wrist around, and there is a silver chalice in her hand. And it's not much bigger than like a champagne flute. It's a tiny little sort of drinking vessel, but that's what it is. And it's just suddenly there, and she's, I'm just gonna need a drop of your blood in this chalice. And then you, right before your eyes, you can see Gilbert make his departure from the deep dark depths of hell. And our deal will be sealed.
Mom pulls out her little pocket knife that she just always has, and she kind of looks it over. And she looks out. I think you've got yourself a deal. She's gonna cut on her hand and just hold it over the flute.
That blood does not miss that little chalice at all. She just catches those little drops almost individually out of the air inside the chalice, and you get the impression this is not her first time. And she catches the blood, and she says, I think you've done something really, really smart. And with that, you see Gilbert. First, he's almost like stood up by the blackness, and then he rises up slowly at first, and then faster as he comes up out of the hole. And he says, "Thank you, Gretchen." And as he goes by, he has this smile on his face that you've never seen before. And it reminds you of the woman next to you, where it's beautiful and horrible at the same time. And then he just accelerates and disappears into the sky. And with that, your memory sort of fades away. And then you thought about when you were back at the cabin on your way to Silent Mountain, where you are now, and you saw that cabin and you knew exactly what it was. As you stepped inside, you could just feel just the way the air was, and there's just the faintest smell of sulfur. And as you opened the trapdoor down into the cellar, you knew exactly what was down there. Just not consciously, but just in your soul you knew. And that's why you went first. And that's why you left Boot and Enid on the main level. And you heard the words, and you heard them in the exact same voice of the woman who sat next to you on the dock. And they said, "Your debt is due. The veils grow thin. Umberzul's prison floats to the surface. You will play your part, as we agreed." And then the scourge appeared, and you feel its weight on your hip, and it's about 10 degrees cooler to the touch than the surrounding air temperature. And you know that you took that scourge because the unspoken words were, if you don't take this, you knew the kids would. You knew that it would go to them if you didn't take it, because Glacia knows your weakness. And so you picked up the scourge, and you feel the power in it. And after you're walking with it and holding it, as you think about it and you reflect on it, you know exactly what it's made for, and you know exactly what it does. And so this is this copper scourge is a +1 to hit whip, essentially, and it's a +2 damage. But this cursed weapon can call forth the power of Glacia and the 6th level of hell, and you can use a power called Wrathful Smite when you use this weapon. And what that would do is let you roll an extra d6, and the target of your attack, if hit, has got to roll a wisdom saving throw to not be afraid of the visions of hell that will crash into their minds. And so this is truly a powerful, nasty, nasty weapon. You also know that if you showed this weapon to anyone, you would have advantage on intimidation. This is an unsettling item to look upon, but there is a curse on it, and you can feel it. And you felt when you took it, you felt the bond with Glacia get stronger, and you knew that your chances of resisting her requests when they come got a lot smaller. That's the copper scourge that you run your hand over as you follow Boot and Enid deeper into Silent Mountain.